Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CryptoPriceAlerting.com. I'm your brother, Unc. Now, tonight, this morning, good morning. Before I go to rest, I thought I might as well do a quick live about the update of the spot ETF thing that dropped yesterday. The big spot ETF. Was it a bust or was it a boom, right? And going forward on CryptoPriceAlerting.com, I'm going to be breaking down everything that got to do with this spot Bitcoin ETF thing that's going on, because a lot of us in the crypto space, we're not a friend of this thing. But one thing about the world is if you don't adapt to the change, you will get left behind, right? So I'm a true believer in being aware and having knowledge upon the things that are affecting all of us, right? Because the scriptures say my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? So we need to be made aware of all the things that are happening. Even though we don't like it, it doesn't mean it's not happening. And these ETFs are going to have a big future in digital currency and cryptocurrency, right? So I'm going to keep you abreast and abroad. So I'm going to be breaking down everything about it and keeping you current to what's happening. Now, yesterday, January 11th, 2024, was the big release of the ETF, the spot Bitcoin ETF, right? The SEC finally approved it, and everybody was speculating that the market is going to go, Bitcoin is going to go up and skyrocket. They were saying this is something very different. This ain't a buy the hype, sell the news type of event, right? They was like, no, this time is different. But what happened? We seen Bitcoin take a little dip, right? It didn't crash, but it wasn't a boom. Okay. Now, for most of them, what is this? Some people don't even know what is a spot ETF. A spot Bitcoin ETF is an exchange traded fund. It's a highly liquid fund that changes its price throughout the trading day, just like the stocks do in the stock market. It directly tracks the price of Bitcoin primarily by holding a large amount of the cryptocurrency itself. Okay? Now, I don't understand, because I'm a crypto investor and I'm an astute investor, I understand the drawbacks and all of the penalties, the things that are going to decimate or be derogatory in the crypto space. But what we got to do, we got to adapt to change, guys, or be left behind, right? So now, the reason why a lot of us in the crypto space don't like these spot ETFs is because, number one, there are many disadvantages. A lack of ownership, right? So when you invest in a spot crypto ETF, right? This Bitcoin one and next Ethereum, it's a thing that's happening. So that's why here at CryptoPriceLearning.com, we're going to be teaching you and keep you abreast of what's going on. So investing in a crypto ETF means that you do not own the cryptocurrency that you're buying, right? If you bought this spot Bitcoin ETF, you don't own Bitcoin at all directly. Even if a fund won't hold the currency directly if it's a crypto futures ETF. Deferring to the ETF management strategy, a drawback shared by all ETFs is that you give up some control. So you actually don't own the currency. So that in itself is kind of ridiculous, because why would I buy that when I could just buy the actual Bitcoin and actually own the coin? But whatever, right? So, but there's a difference between an ETF and a spot ETF. A spot Bitcoin ETF allows investors to gain direct exposure to Bitcoin without actually owning the Bitcoin. Like, that's really good for you, but whatever, right? But a regular Bitcoin ETF is Bitcoin future contracts are the underlying asset of regular Bitcoin ETFs, right? The future contracts, Bitcoin future contracts are its underlying asset. Bitcoins are the underlying asset of a spot Bitcoin ETF, but you don't own it. Okay. Now, the biggest ETF, the biggest company that holds the most Bitcoin, the most ETF, the biggest ETF that holds the most Bitcoin is Grayscale. Grayscale was approved to convert its existing Bitcoin trust into an ETF on Thursday. And by doing this overnight, it created the world's largest Bitcoin ETF with more than $28 billion in assets under its management. All right, so now, in the next, another video that we're gonna do, I'm gonna break down the 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs that got approved by the SEC and that released yesterday. I'm going to break down what they are, their numbers, their value, their ticker. I'm gonna be breaking down everything for you guys so you guys can have a full understanding of exactly what was just released in the financial space and against our digital currency for those who are digital currency investors, all right, to the crypto community. All right, so now, what happened, Unc? What happened? Does this spot ETF that was supposed to be this big old deal, was it a boom or was it a bust? So here we go. Here's my breakdown, cryptopricealerter.com. Here's our breakdown of what happened yesterday on the big release, okay? Now, one of the things that I want to break out is that the Apple Stocks app was not allowed to show none of the tickers for the listings. So a lot of the people, Apple users and iPhones and stuff, that wanted to have the tickers showing on their Apple thing, they weren't allowed to even see the tickers for the ETFs when trading open. Number two, Fidelity app is not showing iShares or BITB, all right, or BitB, right? At the market open, the Fidelity app, if you were buying your ETF through Fidelity, their app was not showing iShares or BitB at the market open. Their listing and Grayscales are there. The Fidelity listings and the Grayscale ETFs were showing on the Fidelity app for those that were going through, they're getting their spot Bitcoin through Fidelity. Okay, Schwab was showing iShares, but most people complain through Schwab that they couldn't get a purchase due to new funds transfer. A lot of people were complaining that they couldn't attempt to purchase their ETFs through Schwab through a new funds transfer, okay? But a lot of people reported that Fidelity did it instantly, right? Fidelity, they had no problem, but a lot of people had a problem with Schwab, all right? So now, the pen name Carson the Carcinogen, he wrote, in this thread, he wrote, laughing in Canadian, he said he DCA'd in a non-tax-free account for the last year, right? So the community is really discussing, because these are a lot of them that's investing in these spot ETFs are communicating in the thread on our channel, in the thread, that what they experienced in the first day of so-called trading with the spot ETFs on day one, January 1st, 2024, right? So the pen name Cots Manscaped said, it's better to own your own keys, but the TFSA is really clutch to avoiding the taxes. Now, we do not give tax advice at Crypto Price Alerting, and we do not give you no advice on taxes. We don't even give you, we are not professional investors. So we just giving you our opinions and the news and what's going on. But this brother said that you can offset your crypto taxes by contributing to your FHSA. He said if you contribute $8,000 a year, that's 100% tax deductible. Half of your gains are tax deductible, he said, in Canada, because he's, I guess, Canadian. He said, so if you have $16,000 in gains, then you basically have that tax free. All right. But we do not give no tax advice. So I do not co-sign that. I don't know if that's true, if it's false, if it's legal, if it's illegal. I don't know. So we, disclaimer right here. We're not promoting that. All right. So the screen name Poker Lily said, why would you buy BTC, Bitcoin, as an ETF if you don't get tax advantages? It seems like it'd be better to self-custody your Bitcoin purchase on an exchange at that point. And then he asks, what's the fee on ETFs? Okay. So the brother Carson, the carcinogen said he was doing DCA, dollar cost averaging, into Bitcoin over the last year on exchanges, but not into the ETFs. He said he wished he would have had split it 50-50 between the exchanges and the ETFs in a TFSA. Okay, he said he wished he would have split it. Now, Ty the Leo said, if the ETF is ready, does it mean that they already bought the Bitcoin back to back the ETF up? Okay, because they like, if the ETF is ready, does that mean they already bought the Bitcoin? These like BlackRock and Fidelity and Grayscale and them to back the ETF up. Okay, I Shoot Guns 321 said they seeded it initially, but now moving forward, they have to buy additional Bitcoin to match the ETF shares. So when they initially got the approval and release, they seeded the Bitcoin to back up the ETF. But he said now going forward, when people start trading, they ain't gonna have to use, these companies are gonna have to buy additional Bitcoin to match the ETF shares every time the trading day. He said they have until 6 p.m. the day after a trading day to settle up, to settle what they have. BlackRock posts its Bitcoin holdings every day. There's only one entry that they have in their table right now, and that's 227.9 Bitcoin. So I Shoot Guns 321 said, I'm curious to watch this grow over time. He said, look under the holdings tab, right? And then he put the link to BlackRock.com/US/individual/products/333011/iShares hyphen Bitcoin -trust #/ for those who want to have that link. Pen name Remind Me said, so according to their site, they only have $10 million in Bitcoin. He says something just don't make sense here. We just had billions flow into these ETFs. Are they being backed by nothing right now? I Shoot Guns 321 said the short answer to that question is yes, they're backed by nothing. But the long answer is they either bought more Bitcoin today and simply haven't updated the data on their sites yet, or they plan on buying it tomorrow. If they don't buy enough Bitcoin to cover the ETF shares that they sold on that day, then they will be breaking the law. They have until the market close plus 24 more hours to make their numbers match. So by 5 p.m. the next day, they have to be settled up for that day's volume. So they have to have the numbers in there after market closing within 24 hours. Grayscale, for instance, has over 600,000 Bitcoin in their custody. But BlackRock has to buy a lot of Bitcoin very soon to cover the shares for the trading. All right? Now, he also said Vanguard won't let me buy any of the ETFs, and I am not happy with Vanguard right now. So, to most people who are complaining that Vanguard is not participating in the ETF, and if you know anything about Vanguard's history, Vanguard is very strict in what they trade and what they allow to be to allow the company to promote or use or sell and everything. So Vanguard, and a lot of people are complaining, so they're moving their shares and they're moving, right? So so some people, Steel 114 said, call Vanguard and tell them, hey, I want to buy, I want to buy it, I want to buy it, I want to buy it, and tell them they want to buy it manually. All right. What's his name? Elephant Eartag said FBTC is available to purchase through Fidelity now. So you can purchase FBTC through Fidelity. FZ3RO1X said, yep, I grabbed me some earlier today, though most of the crypto investments in Fidelity are in GBTC that they own from 2021. Okay, so most of Fidelity's crypto investments are in GBTC. FZ said, I've debated whether it matters which fund that I'm in. On one hand, FBTC has 0 fees until August, and then it will be 0.25% fees. But GBTC is 2% across the board, and not sure if it's dropping. H202 said, so FBTC has 0 fees until August, and then it's 0.25%, and GBTC is 2% across the board, and you're saying you're debating which one to get? He was like, that's no decision at all. Must be a Folio move. All right. So FZ3ROX said, I thought it was kind of amusing with me logging in to my Fidelity account today, and immediately I see a message that says, oh, hey, you should buy FBTC. All right. These are people that are in the spot BTC exchange that are trading. All right. Sword of Eden said, I bought my IBIT on Schwab today. So he was able to buy his IBIT on Schwab today. Underpaid Big Time said, same for me. I bought my IBIT on Schwab. Original Rocket said, ditto, me too. Screen name Wet Noodle. These people with these screen names. Screen name Wet Noodle said, why are you buying IBIT over BitB or FBTC or GBTC? And Sword of Eden said, because IBIT is owned by BlackRock. Prize, hold on. And Prize AD5586 says E-Trade has IBIT. So you guys can buy E-Trade. Guys can buy IBIT on E-Trade. All right, the BlackRock spot ETF. So it says Prize AD5586 said, everyone have some patience. It's just getting started. It was the first day. It might take some time to get things really going. Have patience for things to get going along. And then Lab Gone Wrong said, it'll probably be better tomorrow. That Z202 said, Webull, I guess Webull, has, which one? It said Webull has all of the spot BTFs, all 11, that you can purchase them on Webull, Webull. Lots Again said, let's hope this is the pullback before the blast off. So, Lots Again said, Bitcoin is at 845 right now. Let's hope that this is a pullback, because it dropped, guys, from 47 down when everybody thought once the ETF trading day opened yesterday that Bitcoin was just going to skyrocket, right? They kept saying it ain't going to be a sell the news, so it's different this time. But Bitcoin actually dropped, right? It didn't tank. So we're not sure fully. It's looking like a sell the news, but we'll know more today and tomorrow if it's actually a drop, a sell the news, and it's going to really affect, or if it's just a pullback before it goes back up like a bounce, a big bounce. He said, let's hope this is a pullback before the big blast off. Is there anything left? Said, more likely people are selling the news and moving basically onto Ethereum. Lost Again said, well, that's okay with me. I hold more Ethereum than I do Bitcoin, so I'm ready for either scenario to happen. Let it, I ain't gonna say that word. Let it, such and such said, I look forward in the future to the eventual Doge, Elon, SHIB, Comstock ETF then. So they're doing that's a joke on the memes that's going to be coming into ETF, I guess, in the future with their crazy names. Now, Lendit, I ain't going to say what that word says. It's a derogatory word to another group of people. Lendit says, this smells like leverage to me, baby. I want to warn people who are investing in this spot ETFs, be very careful with the leverage. It's just getting started. You really don't want to play around with leverage and get yourself wiped out, because you really don't know what this is going to do. Have patience and see what's going to happen with this before you start leveraging yourself. All right. So he said, smells like leverage to me, baby. And Heaven's Word says, yeah, not to me. Remind me later in 6 months. Exactly. Heaven's Word says, Merrill Lynch and Citibank and TradeFi are blocking their customers from accessing the ETF. So Merrill Lynch, Citibank, and TradeFi are blocking customers for accessing their ETF. Financial suppression, he said, financial suppression is higher than ever in the 21st century in this ETF world. All right. Owl Suspicious 9254 said, not to mention, you can't buy any of the Bitcoin ETFs on Merrill Lynch. The more these companies limit their crypto exposure, the more the customers would just go somewhere else that's allowing it. Bold strategy to cotton. Canned Shrimp 354 said, and what is no surprise at all, we found out for fact that Bitcoin ETF is not actually Bitcoin. Yes, it is not Bitcoin. You don't own it. Trendy Trucks 35 said, I was pretty disappointed that I couldn't add the Bitcoin ETF stickers to my Apple stocks watch list. I'm just curious to track how they do. I had no issues buying IBIT and BRRR today through Schwab. Glad the big day is finally here, but at close, it wasn't impressive at all. It's just basically a few ups and a few downs. He said, I checked all 11 ETFs. I don't see any options for any of them yet. He says, since I'm not allowed to open any positions in the United States ETFs here in Europe, I'm only allowed to close positions only. He said, I can trade options on United States ETFs though. They are all not very interesting for me so far. Let's see if options will come around eventually. The options. And I'll be explaining what the option ETFs is on coming lives and videos. X0R99 said, trade BITO options until release, which will probably happen within 30 days. He said trade BITO options until release, which will probably happen within 30 days. He said it doesn't seem to be very liquid though. XOR99 said, I've traded it for a couple of years. FAR OOM, not necessarily liquid, but that's not unusual outside of mega caps. YMMV, but never considered it much of an obstacle personally. Okay, so I don't know what FAR OOM and YMMV means. Someone else wrote, Savings Accident 5631 said, all of the spot ETFs are all available for purchase on Robinhood for everyone out there who want to purchase. He said, Uplift UP said, I thought they would have had things ready for a very smooth rollout for all the hype about this release. He said the SEC and then somebody else, I love St. Paul, said, LOL, the SEC only approved these coins yesterday. This was never going to be a smooth rollout, dude. Have patience and give it time. Okay? Now, I love St. Paul says, what do you guys take on the sharp spike up this morning and then the back down to 46,000 of Bitcoin? I would have thought the test would have stuck, meaning everybody thought that it was just going to go up. Objective Digit said, people, learn to have patience. It's just getting started. Patience is the key. Main Sergeant 40 said, use Webull to buy your ETFs. It's amazing. It works well. Damn Sam I Am said, public only showed 2 of them while the rest were listed. They didn't have any private pricing information and trading was unavailable at the time. Public only, I don't know what that is. Damn Sam I Am said, where's the fella that was in here yesterday that was saying wait for the flood of cash at the market open at 9:30 a.m. He's like, where's the dude that was in here yesterday saying wait for the flood of cash at the market open at 9:30 a.m. He said, a big bust. We closed the day in the red and the current day is red at the moment as well. When they said this wasn't a sell the news event, all I heard was, this time will be different. This time will be different. It's not a sell the news. Big bust is what they say, he said. All right. So that's some of the updates for some people in the chat talking about the big day, the first day of the spot trade ETF. Now I'm gonna give my advice. This is just advice. I'm not a financial expert or none of that. Now, my advice is, if you are going to trade in these spot ETFs, have patience. Dollar cost average in, DCA yourself in, and have patience to see what the market is going to do. It's apparently I just think, my advice, it's apparently going to do something because this is huge news. And Ethereum is next for their ETF, and then other altcoins and stuff are going to come along and start getting ETFs. This is a new wave and a new future. So me personally, on my investment group on Patreon, I'm be telling people in my investment group that I will be DCAing into ETFs. I don't like it, but I own Bitcoin and I'll continue to DCA into Bitcoin, continue to buy Bitcoin, continue to trade because I'm a trader, right? Continue to trade, right? Continue to buy altcoins and trade my meme coins and prepare for the bull market that is going to come, right? But I would think it would be foolish for us to be in our feelings because we don't like that they're trying to centralize, and we know what they're trying to do. But I think it'll be a foolish move not to invest something over there, because you don't think about it, guys. This is brand new, and history shows that anybody who is first, if you're at the beginning stages of anything when it releases, then you're in a great position, right? And that's with anything, right? Especially with finances. So imagine if you get in now whether it's small and just DCA in a small amount, who knows what's going to happen. But you'll be in a good position if something does really happen big years from now. You would have been very wise to get in. So I will be investing a small amount and DCAing into, I'll be going into IBIT, iShares, because BlackRock, and I'll probably be going into Grayscale, because all 11, I don't think will be successful. Some of them are probably going to crash and burn, but I'll be invested into those two, and maybe a third if I figure out what else I think might have some longevity. But it'll be a small amount, but I'll be DCAing in just to hedge my bet. But I'm a crypto investor. I'm a decentralized dude. You heard? So my advice to everybody listening, it'll be wise to just keep your eye on the ETFs and the futures and the regular ETFs, because this is a big thing and the rest of the world is going in and all the banking institutions. So if we can get in at the beginning of this, I think that would do us wise. I think that would be a wise decision for everyone. I am Uncle Yahya Shah. On behalf of CryptoPriceAlerting.com, I want to say for everybody, have a blessed day. I need to go to rest because I got a teacher ministry later tonight. But I wanted to come on here and do this quick update because there was the first trading day yesterday, and today is the start of the first trading day in about an hour or so of the second trading day of the spot ETFs, and we're going to see what happens. Especially, I'm keeping my eye on Bitcoin to see what it does. But I'm in it for the long haul. Bull run in 2024. All right, everybody, have a blessed day. We love you, and like and subscribe to CryptoPriceAlerting.com for more updates, news, everything. The home of the average investor. All right, I'll see y'all on the next one. Love the Most High. Yeah, we are.